Good morning, everyone. My name is Ted Ellis, Program Chair for the Bachelor of Arts in Social and Criminal Justice and the Master of Science in Criminal Justice programs at the University of Arizona Global Campus.
And I'm Nicola Prendergast-Lucas, an assistant professor at UAGC and also co-host of this Culture of Care Summit.
And we are pleased to welcome you to this session entitled Understanding How Culture of Care Pillars Support Organizational Awareness and Understanding with Dr. Michelle Rosser-Majors, Assistant Dean and Professor, College of Arts and Sciences, and Dr. Tony Farrell, Dean, College of Arts and Sciences, sponsored by the College of Arts and Sciences and facilitated by the University of Arizona Global Campus, Department of Behavioral Sciences.
Thanks so much, Dr. Ellis and Dr. Prendergast. We are so happy to be here. But first, on behalf of the UAGC Culture of Care Council, we want to welcome you to this inaugural summit, and we hope that you find great benefit associated with the information that so many summit sessions will be sharing over the next 2 days. In Dr. Farrell's and my presentation, we will be breaking down our pillars that are foundational for our culture of care. Each pillar represents a piece of the puzzle that may be each practiced in different ways, depending on the department you're in or the team you work with. This mention of leadership is important to establish because we also believe that every single person in our organization, in one way or the other, is a leader, and hence it is crucial to approach what we do purposefully and responsibly. To better understand each pillar and how we got here, we believe it is important to see the transitional evolution timeline. Tony?
Thanks, Michelle. Next slide, please. So the culture of care it's a really big endeavor here within UAGC. And one of the things that I feel like we may have missed along the way, or we have not been as explicit, is just kind of going through the evolution of where culture of care started, where it is now, and where it's going. So I'm going to take you through the timeline briefly. So in May 2015, the College of Education within Ashford University launched the Save One initiative. So the Save One initiative was a grassroots effort challenging faculty to select at least one student in each course for additional support to enhance student success and course completion. So this initiative, while maintaining course rigor, embraced a scaffolded approach to support, rooted in the belief that all students can thrive with appropriate assistance. So let's fast forward to July 2021, when UAGC faculty and staff convened to explore strategies to improve student retention. So this led to the inception of the Power of One pilot project, which introduced varying teaching requirements for participating faculty. Faculty had the opportunity to opt into the pilot. So part of the additional course requirements was also additional compensation for their participation. The project yielded positive results, and it demonstrated its impact on student success. So building upon the success of Power One, in July 2022, the Culture of Care Initiative was launched, mandating that teaching requirements introduced in the pilot project were now the new teaching requirements for UAGC faculty within their courses. So this initiative coincided with additional compensation provided to adjunct faculty and further emphasizing the institution's commitment to student success. So in March of 2023, WASC came and conducted an accreditation review and recognized the profound impact that Culture of Care had on the institution's culture and student support. And they recognized us through the commendations in their visit report. In August of 2023, we launched the Culture of Care Council, and this comprised of leaders that represented various departments within UAGC, and we wanted to sustain and advance the initiative. At that point, as an institution, we kind of focused on students as being the center of Culture of Care, but truly a Culture of Care is about UAGC as a whole and the work that we do with each other as well as our students. So in October, this was the big piece in this and really the focus of our presentation today. In October of 2023, the Culture of Care Council developed and approved the Culture of Care Pillars and Purpose Statement, outlining the guiding principles of this initiative. In December of 2023, we established a Culture of Care goal for the institution. In March of 2024, as you are all attending here, the first annual Culture of Care Summit. So looking ahead, in June of 2024, an institutional survey will be deployed to assess the attainment of the institutional goal and ensuring continuous improvement in supporting student success. So again, just to reiterate some of the highlights of Culture of Care. So it really is aligned to the Save One project. The Power of One initiative was a pilot that tested some of our beliefs in student support. In 2022 of July, we launched the Power of One pilot. The WASC visit was pivotal in 2023, and it really did resonate with our reviewers. We have created a Culture of Care goal and a DEI goal that we will assess in June of 2024. And then again, in August of 2023, the Culture of Care Council was formed. So briefly, this is just an overview of our mission, our purpose statement, and our pillars. So at UAGC, the Culture of Care fosters a community grounded in trust and belonging. We believe our culture provides opportunity for individuals to thrive academically, professionally, and personally, creating a transformative student experience. And those who have worked with me for a long time know that everything we do is grounded in the mission and purpose of what we do, our why. So this guides our Culture of Care Council and Culture of Care within the institution. And these are the pillars using the acronym of CARES. So communicate, we are committed to timely, professional, and transparent communication. We value diverse perspectives, listen to, understand, and welcome feedback. Advocate, we embed equitable practices by advocating for inclusion of diverse voices in every department within the university. Respect, we engage respectfully in every interaction, recognizing the inherent value of diverse perspectives. Empower, we empower all members of our community to speak up, participate, create, learn, and grow. And this is all grounded on the foundation that we are a student-centered organization. We use every decision and action as an opportunity to maximize student success. Michelle.
Thanks, Tony. So now we'll break down each of our pillars, because for your organizations, it could look differently, but it's important to see. So communicate is our first CARES pillar. So according to Oxford Dictionary, communicate means, quote, to share or exchange information, news, or ideas. But for our organization, it means so much more. For us, it means to be committed to timely, professional, and transparent communications, all through the lens of valuing diverse perspectives. We listen to understand and not to judge or to condemn. Instead, to respect and motivate one another as we clearly share our visions, our expectations, and our ideas. We honor honest feedback as we focus on the importance it plays in continual improvement and personal development. Some might say this can be challenging, and well, yes, it is. It can be at times, but we also have realized that without it, we are stagnant. This focus on communication has also created an increased awareness of the need for cross-departmental and teams communications, reducing our silos and increasing our ability to reduce functional bias and welcome knowledge and skills of everyone. Everyone's perspective should be important, and we truly believe this. You never know that one person or team that will be the one that opens the box to exploring new ideas and breaking down these barriers. In addition, communication builds relationships. As you may know, our organization is fully online. Creating trusting and productive relationships is a vital heartbeat of our success. Using emails as a major form of communication can create misinterpretations and even relational divides if not fully considered. And yes, even when we're busy or stressed out, we have to pay attention to our tone and our intent. However, it's also important to be concise and not over lengthy in our communications to express respect for someone else's workday. It's far too easy to forget that every one of us has a job to do that the sender may not know anything about. Being concise reduces the need for multiple emails, and not being too lengthy can reduce the likeliness that the communication was actually read all the way through. As this summit has been offered using Zoom meetings, our institution also uses this method as a primary tool for our communications. Being present and on screen shows respect for the person speaking at the meeting. Making eye contact and engaging rather than sitting on the sidelines is also an important factor to support our culture of care. Easy? Not always, but well worth the purposeful effort. So now a little activity. On the count of 3, we would like everyone, and of course only if you feel comfortable, to share what communicate looks like in your department, organization, or culture. On your mark, 1, 2, 3, go and post. What does communicate look for your culture? Absolutely, Jen. Being aware of others' workloads. Being respectful and aware of others' feelings. Absolutely. Very important vehicle for understanding. Absolutely. Great point, Courtney. Removing people from email chains that don't need to be there. Again, it's very time consuming. So all of these are excellent, excellent ideas. Thank you. So now we're going to go on to our second pillar. And in our culture of care, that's advocate, which also supports understanding and organizational awareness. So advocate, well, to publicly recommend or support. And for us, just like before, it means more to us. And it includes supporting equitable practices that includes diverse voices, experiences, cultures, strategies, and ideas. We advocate for one another and for our why. And you're going to hear about the why often during this presentation, because the why for your organization is the key to it all. For us, that's our students. This type of purposeful action within any organization must also be considered through a lens of the organization's mission and vision. Although this can differ from organization to organization, advocating must truly be founded again on your why, the importance of it and how it affects everyone in your organization. So for us, our why, being our students and their success in their academic journey, takes precedence. But to be equitable, this also means advocating for all who advocate for them. At UAGC, our faculty, staff, students, and stakeholders, whether our partners or academic community colleagues, everyone should feel safe and supported to share ideas, question, to think out of the box, and to share their own experiences. Advocate also symbolizes the positivity and motivational aspects of the organization when becoming more aware and knowledgeable of the importance of diversity, equity, inclusion, justice, and belonging for all individuals. So next activity, we would love to hear from you. What does advocacy look like in your department, institution, or organization? Absolutely, ensuring everyone has what they need. Partnering, so important, the collaboration. Providing grace, I love that. Having a voice heard. Lifting voices. We all get so busy, sometimes that's difficult. It's so important to care. Positive communications, all great ideas. Valuing listening, I'm seeing a lot of things. And Tony, how about talking a little bit about respect?
Thanks, Michelle. So again, the pillar of respect is we engage respectfully in every interaction, recognizing the inherent value of diverse perspectives. And so, when we think about respect, it's just not an Aretha Franklin song here at UAGC. The term respect may seem obvious when thinking about the interactions between faculty, staff, and students. However, it was really clear to the council that we had to be explicit in what respect looks like in related to the behaviors here at UAGC. So what does respect look like in the classroom? What does respect look like in our meetings? How do we communicate with each other? And more importantly, and this is really the piece in this that is important to me with the culture of care, how do people feel here at UAGC when interacting with their colleagues? So thinking about all members of an organizational community, and they should feel respected based on their function, their ideas and skills. So it's very important that the UAGC community feel respected in all aspects of the institution. The Culture of Care Council is a great example of this, in my opinion. So we have had such great ideas come from different leaders and staff members from different departments. It really has blown me away to the extent that people care about our institution and each other. So the council has been purposeful in creating an environment where all can share their perspectives, and hopefully everybody feels safe and trusted within the council to share. And that is the environment that we continue, and the culture that we continue to try to strive for within UAGC. So communication and being a little bit redundant, and there is overlap within these pillars. They certainly address different areas of the organization and behaviors and the things that we do and how we do business here at UAGC. So communication in meetings, allowing all to have a voice. So I think you have to be intentional in making sure that everyone feels included and has an opportunity to give their opinions and perspective. So it's really easy, and I've been there. I've been in meetings where it's easy to have one person dominate meetings and not be inclusive of all voices. So as leaders and facilitators, you have to be purposeful in allowing everyone to have an opportunity to provide their perspectives. So a key point to this is the development of trust within your department and organization. In high trust organizations, stakeholders will feel safe to share their perspectives. So emails, going back to the communication piece, I think this is important too. Respect has to be at the very foundation of how we communicate. We need to read our emails before sending. Sometimes we absolutely have to address difficult topics, but a respectful email goes a long way. Additionally, the UAGC environment is remote, so a large percentage of our communication is done through email. Thinking about what we say and how we say it through email is important. And personally, I always try to be succinct and direct as possible when communicating through email. And then also, this is just one little area for me. Think twice before hitting reply all to an email as well. So respect the diversity and perspective and experience of others. So the focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, justice, and belonging is important at UAGC. We continue to develop as an institution in these areas, but we hope all feel respected and have a voice within our institution. And part of this is taking feedback as formative and continuing to grow as an institution. So just like Michelle did, we're going to ask you to share. What does respect look like in your department, within your organization, if you are not here at UAGC, or even potentially what do you hope that it would look like? So if you can post that in the chat.
Suspending forms of judgment. I love that. I think being self-aware, I think that's a great idea about understanding where we are in those meetings and what role we're playing. Great. Being polite, valuing perspective. Those are great.
I like this one that Charles shared, seeing the whole person, not just the job title or role.
Absolutely.
Suspending any form of judgment of others. That's great. So Stephanie says a sense of comfort in sharing, engaging, and sometimes even being a bit vulnerable. That goes back to that high trust organization that we talked about. All right.
Lisa's being empathetic. I think, we sometimes don't understand how hard that can be, and we have to be purposeful in these strategies that we use. Great ideas, everyone.
So empower. So this pillar, we empower all members of our community to speak up, participate, learn, and grow. So the idea of empowerment within UAGC is a priority. And I'll be the first one to say that, and even in our current environment where there are some budget constraints to helping to support professional development and growth, we can find ways to do that. We just have to be creative. And I believe that that empowerment is a priority within UAGC. So what we want at UAGC is we want our faculty and staff to grow and achieve their education, vocational, and personal goals. So additionally, we want UAGC faculty and staff to have an opportunity to grow, learn, and develop. So we are purposeful in providing developmental opportunities for all stakeholders within UAGC. So growth development is important to empower individuals to participate and support initiative and goals. So we believe that supporting the growth and development of our faculty and staff will support student success and employee engagement. I think that if we are growing as professionals and we are seeking opportunities to learn, and obviously in higher education and in an educational environment, I hope we're all lifelong learners, but that feeling of growth and development will lead to higher engagement. The environment will be a place where you want to be a part of long term, and most importantly, it will support student success. So obviously, and I will speak for myself, but hopefully we all share this opinion, education is empowering. So we provide individuals with leadership development within their communities. And I'm just going to give an example of the College of Arts and Sciences, where we want to provide an environment where all faculty have opportunities to develop as leaders. So over the years, we have invested in professional development opportunities that focus on leadership development and really providing our faculty and staff with the skill set necessary or adding to their toolbox, so when opportunities arise that they will be prepared. So again, provide opportunities for personal self-growth. We try to embed opportunities in which students develop a growth mindset through the interactions they have with faculty, staff, and the curriculum of their program. Feedback and engagement with our students in the classroom can support their personal growth. As for faculty and staff, departments take the lead in how they develop their teams. So how do we develop faculty may be different than how our advising team develops advisors, how our enrollment team develops the enrollment staff, the registrar's office. It could all be very different, but similar in nature in that we really want to put students at the forefront of what we do. And then again, this has to be done through an environment of trust and support. So currently the leadership in CAS is engaged in a book study examining unconscious bias in support of diversity, equity, inclusion, justice, and belonging. And so we want everyone associated with UAGC to have an opportunity to be the best that they can be. So again, we'll take the time to post in the chat, what does empower mean within your department, your organization, or what you hope that it would look like.
Giving people a place at the table, love that. And questioning, I think we should always be questioning. That's a great one too. As you think through these, and perhaps it's challenging to think what that looks like, what could it look like? Think about all the pillars and what it could look like for you and your team, for those you serve, for your cause, depending on the type of organization.
Like what Michael said, allowing for every voice and honoring each voice.
Absolutely. Actively listening,
Yeah.
Which can be very challenging with Zoom, I think, for a lot of us. And so, but it's so important.
You know, one thing that Courtney pointed out is ask people what they need. I think sometimes, and I will say that I've been guilty of this in the past, and probably sometimes I need my team to kind of nudge me a little bit, but sometimes we think, hey, yeah, this would be great for our faculty and staff as far as a professional development opportunity. Maybe that's not what they need. Maybe soliciting their opinions and what they really want to be developed in could really go a long way. So I really like that comment. All right. Great ideas. And we're keeping them in the chat. And we're
Absolutely.
recording. Yep.
So our final pillar for our organization goes back to, again, what we've said about who is your why, or what is your why? And for us, it's being intentionally student-centered. All other pillars for our organization must consider this foundational pillar. We hope you find it as important to make your why your foundation. So our foundational pillar, it's important to ask yourself about the diverse areas for you as an organization. If you're with our organization, we have that similar understanding of our foundation. If you're from an outside organization, identifying that why and basing all of your different pillars and all of your different strategies on what is best. So as we have shared, again, this is our students, but for some of you that may even volunteer in other areas, consider those other areas and what is that why? So we want to go ahead and do a quick chat on this one, because this goes back to your why. Even if you're not thinking about our organization, maybe your own organization, another organization volunteer for, what is that why? And list those in the chat for us. And then we're going to have a follow-up question after you identify your why.
Student-centered. My students are the reason why I work here. See them graduate. That's coming up. That's the best day of the year for me.
You know I volunteer in another environment, and the why is to make sure people in need get what they need. And so a culture of care would surround that as well. Being a servant leader. I love the future idea, because that could be applicable to any almost organization. What does that future look like for their customers, for their employees?
I think about my own personal why. It's students for sure. Absolutely. But then I also think about the people who are in this room. I mean, this organization is such a special place, and we have gone on such an amazing journey together that, Courtney says, not what is usual, but what is possible. I think that the best days of UAGC are ahead of us. And I couldn't think of a better group of people to engage in that journey with.
I absolutely agree. And for those outside of our organization to better understand how meaningful this is and what a difference it can make in their organization as well, that it takes time, it takes patience, that identifying this why is going to be key. So now, if you've kind of figured out your why, think about this question. You don't have to post on this one, but in the decisions you make on a daily basis, do the decisions and the actions you take, are they best for your why, as well as for the people that serve your why? Just kind of let that sink in for just a minute. So one last question before we wind things up. You've identified your why. You've identified if the strategies and actions you're taking are good for your why. So can you list one word that you believe how your why looks in your department or institutional organization? In other words, what is something you do daily to support your why? And actionable. Wow, great words. Keep them coming. And after you post, read these words back to yourself and think about all these things you do every day to support your whys. Because that's what a culture of care in an organization is about. Action. Love all these words. Perfect. Great job, everybody. So, as we kind of wind things up, we are really, really hoping that it's become evident why pillars can be an important part of supporting a culture of care development, not only in our institution, but in other organizations as well. Each component that we have identified is intentionally woven into the meaning of care and how we as an organization can each play our part. Our pillars: communicate, advocate, respect, and empower, all founded on being student-centered, our why, have become powerful elements of an ever-evolving dedication to including care in our culture. But our culture will always be dedicated to improving and identifying how care supports everyone in our organization. Culture should be cared for daily. And lastly, through reflection, we will continue to strive to get better and to be better, with hopes of also helping other organizations and leaders to find ways to implement what for us has been meaningful, effective, and successful. So we all become a part of being great colleagues, teams, leaders, well, and quite simply, great human beings in our workplaces. Tony?
I just want to end with a kind of challenge to those who are attending today. Really try to live your why. To me, there's nothing more meaningful and powerful than having a purpose in the work that we do. And so the culture of care provides a framework in how we can impact students and each other. But at the end of the day, what is your true why in the work that you do? That being said, Michelle, I think we're off to a good start.
Absolutely. Okay, that's a wrap. Enjoy your next sessions, everyone.